No one ever thought that a simple moment like a new soldier entering a room full of seniors could become a major event and leave a deep impression. However, it happens when Cha Eunwoo, a K-pop star and actor who is currently serving his military service, has to face one of the most stressful situations. Entering a room filled with higher-ranking seniors. Not only was the reaction mixed, it also opened up a lot of conversations about celebrity status in the military, about humility, and how the real world of military barracks is very different from the entertainment scene. When this news emerged, many South Korean and international media began to highlight the details of the moment. Fans who were used to seeing Eunwoo dressed in an elegant suit on the red carpet, or watching him look stunning on the screen in romantic roles, are now shocked by the story of how his idol faces the harsh world of the military full of rules, seniority, and critical glances. Cha Eunwoo entered the room not as a star, but rather as a young soldier. He must drop the titles of perfect visual, top actor, or idol of a million fans, and adjust to an environment where everyone is equal, equally dressed in uniform, equally subject to discipline, and equally measured by determination, not popularity. According to a source close to one of the seniors in the room, the atmosphere was initially full of tension. The seniors who had been on duty for a long time immediately turned their eyes towards the door when Cha Eunwoo entered. Their gazes are sharp, dignified, and give a clear message that the space is a serious area, not a place to relax. Eunwoo stood firm. His face remained calm even though it was obvious that there was great pressure. A witness said that the room seemed to become quieter when the door was opened. Everyone is silent. There is curiosity, there is also doubt. They know who's coming in, but they want to see for themselves how he behaves, he said. For a celebrity of Cha Eunwoo's class, the real test was not grueling physical training or strict military rules, but rather how he was able to show humility in front of those who were more experienced. If he missteps, no matter how small, it can create a bad impression that is difficult to erase. However, Eunwoo's reaction turned out to be far from what many expected. With great respect, he gave a perfect military salute, his voice was loud, and his body was upright. He mentions his identity without mentioning frills as an artist. "I'm Private Lee Dong-min," he said clearly, using his real name instead of Cha Eunwoo. Some seniors nodded a little. They appreciated how Eunwoo didn't try to bring his identity as a celebrity into the space. One senior even commented, "From the beginning, she showed that she wanted to be treated the same. That's important. Nevertheless, there remains a critical gaze." Eunwoo's popularity can indeed be a burden on its own. Some seniors who had already heard gossip about him outside felt like testing whether this youngster was really sincere or just playing a role. In such an atmosphere, every little movement can be noticed. How to stand, how to answer questions. Even the expression on his face point. One of the most touching moments was when a senior in a rather harsh tone asked, "You know who we are here?" And Eunwoo replied firmly, "I know, senior. I came to learn from all of you." The answer instantly melted some of the tension. There was honesty in his voice, unfeigned, as if he had completely stripped himself of any popularity he had ever had. Slowly, the atmosphere of the room changed. From the beginning full of tension, it becomes warmer. Some seniors even smiled faintly, a sign that they were beginning to accept his presence. "He's different than we imagined," said one senior, who later shared that many new soldiers are usually groggy or try to get attention, but Eunwoo remained calm and polite. When the moment spread out of the barracks, the public was busy talking about it. Many fans were proud, because his idol was able to show an adult side that can be seen not only on the screen, but also in the real life of the military. Korean netizens wrote comments like, "That's Cha Eunwoo. He always knows how to behave in the right place." Or, "No wonder a lot of people respect him. He carries himself so well." However, there are also those who highlight the other side. Some people argue that it's only natural for seniors to give Eunwoo a stern look and pressure, because the military is not a special place for celebrities. "It's good that he can be humble, because here it's all the same," wrote one netizen. Even so, The moment actually shows how Eunwoo manages to balance two worlds. The world of celebrities who are full of highlights, and the world of the military who are full of discipline. He shows that behind the handsome face and fame, there is a person who is ready to humble himself and learn from others. The seniors who initially only saw the figure of an idol slowly began to view him as a junior brother who could be guided. Within weeks of the incident, stories of how Eunwoo diligently followed instructions, never complained, and always offered help began circulating among the barracks. Seniors also increasingly appreciate its existence. In fact, there is one small story that has touched many people. When one of the seniors accidentally dropped the military notebook, Eunwoo swiftly picked it up, gave a small greeting, then handed it over respectfully. The senior then said, "I thought you were just going to be a clumsy artist here, but you turned out to be more mature than expected." It was these moments that made Eunwoo slowly gain a place in the hearts of his seniors. No longer seen as a celebrity to be tested, but rather as a young soldier who sincerely wants to live up to his obligations. The story of the reaction of these seniors also became a symbol that the military world can be a true mirror of a person. Popularity, wealth, and status mean nothing when everyone stands under the same rules. All that was left was the original character, and that's where Eunwoo managed to prove himself. After that incident, the relationship between Eunwoo and the seniors in the barracks slowly became more intimate. Although there is still a reasonable distance due to the seniority system, seniors are starting to feel comfortable around it. Eunwoo, who is usually known to be quiet, often shows respect by listening to every instruction without interrupting, and even notes small things so as not to repeat mistakes. This simple attitude made seniors begin to see him not just as a celebrity, but rather a young soldier who really wanted to learn and develop. Outside the barracks, news of the moment spread quickly on online forums. Many fans were touched to hear how her idol dealt with the pressure. There are also those who feel relieved because seniors do not treat them harshly, but test them in a way that is still within reasonable limits. Heated discussions ensued. Some commented that Eunwoo had set an example of how celebrities should behave in the military, while others judged that seniors also showed wisdom for not treating Eunwoo discriminatively. Some media even highlighted how this moment can be a social lesson. In the midst of a Korean entertainment world that is often criticized for the distance between artists and ordinary people, Eunwoo's story in the barracks proves that fame can simply disappear in an environment that demands equality. The media wrote that Eunwoo's humble demeanor was the reason why he was accepted more quickly than many other celebrities who had previously gotten into trouble in the military. This story also proves that personal character is much more important than public image. Time passed, and Eunwoo's relationship with the seniors grew closer. There was a moment when one senior who was known for being assertive said in front of other juniors, "If anyone wants to learn how to carry themselves well, look at him." The simple phrase is not only a compliment, but also a sign of acceptance. From an initially doubtful celebrity, Eunwoo is now considered a junior sister who gives new colors in the barracks. The reaction of the seniors who were initially full of tension was now replaced by respect, even pride, for having a figure like him among them.